Today, we're jumping into a story from way back in 1916. It's a thriller that kicks off with a stolen secret, a secret that could totally change the outcome of a war. But what starts as this classic spy story, well, it quickly turns into a search for a lost identity, all happening just as the entire world is about to catch fire.
And it all starts right here, with a desperate shout across a noisy French cafe. You know, a moment of pure terror that just slices right through all the normal chatter. This is where our story really ignites, in a world where spies are hiding in plain sight, and believe me, a single mistake could be your last. Okay, so picture this. The year is 1914. It's July, and Europe is basically a powder keg just weeks away from exploding. But down in the quiet streets of France, a much smaller, way more secret war is already being fought. It's a dangerous game for sure, with the highest stakes imaginable. Now, at the heart of this whole thing is one single envelope. Just a plain envelope, but inside are the plans for the Harkness shell, a weapon that could literally decide the coming war. So for British intelligence, getting it to London is the only thing that matters. And for German intelligence, stopping them at all costs. So our agent, a guy named Halkett, he's running out of road. German agents are everywhere, and he knows they're closing in fast. He just can't risk carrying the envelope himself any longer. He needs what they call a cutout, a complete stranger to hold onto the plans for him, and he needs one like yesterday. And wouldn't you know it, he finds his stranger, James Warner, an American artist who's just in town to teach a class. Warner, who calls himself a gambler, is totally intrigued by the whole thing. He thinks it's all just some amusing adventure and agrees to hide the envelope, having absolutely no idea that he's just stepped right onto a battlefield. So, with the plans safe for now, Warner's attention shifts from all the spy stuff to a really mysterious young woman at the heart of the town's nightlife. The trail leads him to the cabaret de Biddy Bee, a pretty shady place run by a man named Wildresse. And it's here that he meets Philippa. She's the cashier, just sitting there behind a wire gate, watching all the rowdy customers with these really indifferent gray eyes. And this right here is the central puzzle. Philippa herself. I mean, she wears the mask of a cabaret girl, with the rouged cheeks and this practiced indifference, but her voice, her education, it just doesn't fit. She claims she's a foundling with no memory of her childhood, raised by the cabaret owner. She's a total walking contradiction. And then, all of a sudden, that amusing game becomes deadly serious. German agents ambush Halkett right there in the cabaret, choking him with a silk handkerchief while they grab a decoy envelope. But Philippa shouts a warning. And that single cry gives Warner just a split second to react. His fists start flying, and he creates just enough chaos for Halkett to get away with the real plans. And just as this little spy story is unfolding, it gets completely swallowed up by the tide of history. The game is no longer about one envelope. It's about the fate of entire nations. I mean, look how quickly the world just changes. This private chase for a secret formula is suddenly dwarfed by public declarations of war. Mobilization posters pop up overnight, and soon the town itself is under bombardment. The personal drama is now set against the actual thunder of artillery. In the middle of all this chaos, Philippa makes her choice. She finds proof that her guardian, Wildresse, is a traitor, selling secrets to Germany. Horrified, she flees and goes straight to Warner. Their alliance is now officially forged in the fires of betrayal and global war. With the world at war, that original mission for the Harkness shell plans, it almost fades into the background. It's replaced by a mystery that is so much deeper and more personal, the truth of who Philippa really is. The question hanging over everything isn't about the location of an envelope anymore. It's about the identity of this girl, who, for all she knows, was picked out of the gutter, yet she carries herself with this innate grace that she just can't explain. The answers start to surface, all thanks to this roguish street urchin named Ostacott. He breaks into Wildresse's safe and brings a sack of Philippa's long-hidden childhood stuff to Warner. And inside, there are photographs of a little girl, a beautiful silken cloak, and crucially, a packet of diplomatic papers, all referencing something called the Deschâtillon affair. The mystery is finally and shockingly solved by Wildresse himself. After he's captured, he gives a full confession. Turns out, he wasn't just a traitor, he was an assassin. Years ago, he murdered Prince Philip of Bulgaria and his wife in their palace bedroom. And as he fled, he kidnapped their 6-year-old daughter to use as leverage one day. Then he points across the room and says, "There she sits."
Wow, this incredible revelation changes everything for Philippa. But it comes at a moment when the personal fate of one princess seems achingly small against the catastrophic backdrop of a world just tearing itself apart. Just look at this transformation. I mean, it's unbelievable. She goes from a nameless cabaret cashier to Princess Philippa de Châtillon. From the ward of a traitor to the orphan of an assassinated prince, her entire past was a lie, a forgotten footnote in the buried conflicts that have now just erupted into a world war. So what does it even mean to discover you are royalty at the precise moment the world of kings and empires is being shelled into oblivion? She has her name back, her history is restored, but the context for that identity, it's vanished in the smoke of the battlefield.
And this is the haunting question the story leaves us with. A question that connects one woman's search for herself to the massive tragedy of a world at war. In a new age being forged by fire and steel, what is the value of a title? And what on earth becomes of a single lost princess?